Edward Brown with the Fourth Weekly Newspaper, joined today by Andrea Karnes, curator at the Modern Art Museum of Fort Worth. So the Modern recently launched a brand new exhibit. Andrea, can you tell us about it?
Absolutely. So the artist's name is Shirin Nishat. She's an artist who is Persian and came to the U.S. when she was 15 years old. She moved to L.A. in support of her sister who was already in L.A. But during that time, there was sort of this, fierce wind of change blowing in Iran. So this is actually the artist, Shirin Nishat. This is not necessarily considered a self-portrait, but she used herself as a model early on in her career. This work was actually just acquired by us here at the Modern, so it's part of our permanent collection now, but it's making its debut with this exhibition. We wanted one of her early iconic works. There aren't very many still available, but we were able to get this one. Feel so fortunate about that.
So we're in a very exciting room. This is called the Book of Kings. Tell us about it.
This big wall of portraits, this is called the Masses. And you can see that it has this very delicate poetry. And these are hand done. And you'll see poetry has been a theme since the beginning. Again, these are all Iranian poets, women. Some are conservative, some are liberal. So across from these people, which are the masses, sort of the people caught in the middle, there are the three villains, as she calls them, and they're part of the revolution, and have been vilified in some ways for that very thing. And it sort of encompasses all aspects of what happens in a revolution. Again, from the very conservative to the very liberal to all the people caught in the middle.
Do you feel like she takes a stance politically?
She's definitely a feminist, and she's definitely, on the liberal side. But I think she understands the intricacies of, not just for women, but for everyone, how you can be caught in the middle.
Tell us about Roja.
So Roja is the woman seen in this photograph. Shirin began to take herself out of her work around the end of the 90s and into the 2000s, and she began to use surrogates for herself. So Roja is one of these surrogates, and Shirin has used Roja in her work for 20 years now. And I think that Shirin began to want to direct and have a more ethereal voice, taking herself out of the work but using people who represent her.
Okay.
So this gallery, Shirin shifts her gaze away from Iran onto Americans. She spent time in New Mexico photographing people who live there, many of them immigrants, and asking them to tell her the dream their most recent dream that they can remember. And so that dream interpretation, again, is faintly seen in calligraphy on each of the surfaces. But if a person could not remember their dream, instead they got their name in Farsi with the date. So that is how these people were documented. And again, it's sort of full circle from her early work.
Well, Andrea, it's been fun learning about Shirin. I feel like I know her after going through this exhibit. We encourage folks to come by the Modern and to see this show, which ends
May 16th.
All right. Well,
so
Andrea,
there's plenty of time.
Awesome. Well, it's been fun. Thanks again for your time, and good luck with the show.
Thank you, Eddie.
Appreciate it.